Did you know that abstinence-based education leads to teenage pregnancy? What about the fact that controlling a substance quite often leads to its abuse? That sounds really counterintuitive, doesn't it? But it's just part of our human nature to oversimplify things and to underestimate the level of complexity of the problems we're trying to solve. Join me this week and let's explore why this happens. We tend to believe that good intentions equals good results. We've created rules, policies, and whole institutions based on this assumption. However, as you might have noticed, we are masters of unexpected outcomes. No matter how well-intentioned our actions can be, the reactions are quite often unpredictable. In the field of social sciences, that's called unintended consequences. And such unintended consequences to well-intentioned actions have been heavily studied in fields like economics, behavior science, and cognitive science. Unintended consequences have been popularized in the 20th century by Robert Merton, although it's been studied since the 17th century by minds like John Locke and Adam Smith. And when we start to acknowledge the power that such unintended consequences can have, we can start to understand how public policies can lead to snakes infestations, how a peace treaty could lead to the Second World War, and why there are so many rabbits in Australia and New Zealand. Maguire Island, or Maka, it's a very isolated island in between Tasmania and Antarctica. It was only chartered in the 1810s, and when this place was found, it was a very pristine, untouched wildlife sanctuary. And when first inhabited, cats and rabbits were introduced to the island, mainly to provide easy nourishment to crews that were navigating the Southern Sea. However, the cats that were introduced were unbalancing the delicate ecosystem of the island, so conservationists asked for their eradication. Long story short, without their only natural predator present, the rabbits did what they do best. They multiply and they ate away through 40% of the island's natural vegetation. An ecological catastrophe that wouldn't be addressed for the next 100 years. That's a cautionary tale about unintended consequences. And everyone out there, you and me, we are all subject to such unexpected outcomes. And the best way to address that is to be aware of the complexity of the systems you're working with, and to understand that the interaction between agents will often have emergent features. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me here. I would love to hear your thoughts around unintended consequences in the comments down here. And as always, see you next week.